instrumental or both, or?
We do both.
Yeah, it's mostly like in this club. It's mostly people who write tunes with vocals, but it's not. Again, it's like the same thing. It's not exclusive to that. It's just people engaged in the creative process of creating songs.
Right.
I mean,
We
like
do
I am.
consider instrumentals to be songs where some people do not. So.
Yeah, I am the world's worst lyricist.
It's a piece.
So,
Are you sure?
oh, I'm sure.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I'm not very
Do
good.
that as a competition. Who's the worst lyricist?
Yeah. Oh, there's
I
no
don't
competition.
know,
That
but-
would be me.
I don't know.
Weird lyrics.
So, John, I've got 2 letters for you.
Okay.
AI.
Hey, right.
Okay, so that's the new thing. Has anyone tried it?
Not yet.
I have.
Pretty handy. And did it work?
I've used ChatGPT. Yeah, so you can say things like write me a song about, and then put in a bunch of random gibberish. And it works to a degree. I mean, you're going to get the song. I mean, I don't think you can write in there, write me a hit song, and it guarantees that it's going to be amazing. Although I've heard some hit
That would be
songs
my
that are
instruction. Write me a hit song and make me millions.
Right, exactly.
Someone
right.
told
So-
me they tried it and they wanted an uplifting, encouraging song, and it was almost all the lyrics to "Roar" by Katy Perry.
It could be, but so like what I've done with it though is like if you're trying to think of like I don't know if you're stuck in a scene, right, and you say what do people say when they're mad, it's like I need something, I need a line, help, or what's in the room, like you can maybe it triggers something that
It starts
maybe-
the process
Yeah,
at least.
exactly.
Sometimes we hit a brick wall and we're at a blank.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And we don't want to quit while we're right in the middle of this creativity.
Right.
You just need a word or a line.
So, Drew, have you asked it for a melody and chord progression, or is it just lyrics at this point?
I've not asked it for anything musical, aside from like, a definition or something like that. So far for, at least Chat GPT, it's been anything that you can write. I have actually done this. So one of the first things I asked it was, can you write me an NDA for, between a songwriter and a performer? And it spit out an NDA.
Very
And
handy.
then, and so I copied it, and I said, I looked at this thing. I'm like, man, this is as good as any NDA that I've ever gotten. And then so I looked at it again. I'm like, man, it's a few pages. Like I can't hit somebody up, like in the studio or something, and be like, hey, can you sing this? Oh, real quick, read this 12-page contract.
Right.
So all I did was, can you do a plain English version of that? And it spit it back in one page. And so
That's
I
amazing.
will say that those type of things, like I haven't asked it for chord progression. I haven't asked it, for chords or, stuff like that. But I can tell you that for the contractual stuff, I don't know if it's any, legally binding or anything like that. I'm not a lawyer, but man, it looked as good as anything that I've ever seen. So
Well, it can compile anything it finds on the internet.
Right,
That's
yeah.
really all it's doing.
that
Bringing-
part's pretty cool. But I don't, everybody keeps saying, oh, well, it writes songs, it's like, I don't, I mean,
Yeah.
It needs a human component always.
yeah. And I think, I
Yeah.
also think that the person singing it will always have a story, right? And so that's what people connect
Yeah.
with. Like you're not going to see a jukebox that made up a story and go, man, I relate to that jukebox. Also, I said jukebox, which shows my age.
Right.
I'm going to hit mute.
Tamara had
Tamara,
something
go
to
ahead.
say.
Yes, the thing about lyrics made with ChatGPT is that you can't copyright them. You can use them, but you can't copyright them.
Oh,
Why? Okay, so what if you change one of the words?
Then maybe you might be able to copyright them.
I was going to
but-
say, yeah.
that's a slippery slope.
Hold on, I'll ask ChatGPT. What if I change one of these words? Is that legally distinct? It'll be like, no, give me my 20% anyways.
Like if you say, write me a song about Lonnie, and then
You could say, I'm changing all the Lonnies to Ryan.
right, and then you change it from Lonnie to Ryan, and then
Then it's fine.
and then ask
How could you say that it came up with it though? How would they know?
That's
Well, I
how would it
suppose
know
be-
it's- Sorry.
I
Yeah, I
suppo-
was gonna
I
say,
sup-
how would they know?
Right.
yeah,
Go ahead,
I suppose
Actually, hold on a second.
because
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it would be sufficiently similar to another thing or things on the internet already.
They
Actually,
probably can
that's a great
log every
point.
single output also.
that's where I was going with it. You actually have to sign up for ChatGPT, and it logs everything that you ask it versus everything you do. So technically, like if you used your email address, like, and then all of a sudden you have this hit song, I would assume that they'd connect that dot pretty quickly.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, guys. We're in a day and age of wildness.
It is the Wild West, no question.
Well, Drew, next you should ask what percentage it wants of your hit song for the lyrics.
Do a split
No,
sheet.
no, I'm not going to give it the opportunity. No way. I'm keeping all my percent of 0.
And my publishing.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, does anyone want to talk about their process? Did you write something, Dave? You're raising your hand.
Well, are we sharing our songs and talking about them this week also? And then I don't care what order we go. We can go with Michael's, or unless he doesn't want to go first.
Well, I'm not ready yet. I'm trying to find my song. Wasn't expecting this.
Oh, okay. We'll take
if-
time.
If you know where it is, Julie, then
Yeah, I can
I think
probably
you found
go
it
with,
before. Yes, thank you.
let me look on my history because it was just a few weeks ago. Okay, where's my? I know I looked up on my phone.
Why don't you come with me? And me. Well, we're poisoning pigeons in the park.
This is John's favorite song.
Well, we're poisoning pigeons in the park.
While we're doing Tom Lehrer songs, I'm going to request the Element song. Do you?
Yes.
Did you memorize all the elements?
And you know what's interesting is that what makes Tom Lehrer songs so amazing is that the lyrics are genuinely funny, but the music is amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard Tom Lehrer songs, definitely check them out.
Yeah.
What I was singing was called "Poisoning Pigeons in the Park," and it's a love song about my sweetie and me going to the park and poisoning pigeons.
It's a little dark.
And it's every bit as dark as you would think it would be, and it's hilarious.
Because we hope that they really weren't actually doing that.
Right.
Well, the other thing I like about Tom Lehrer is he was a mathematician. He had his PhD in math and was a college
Really?
professor.
Was that right? I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. You've heard that song "New Math," right?
Yeah.
Data
Oh, yeah.
Privacy. I don't know that one. Okay. I'm almost there. Do you see something that says data and privacy? Privacy? Manage all history. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. All right, continue to talk. I'm just trying to
Okay.
find the song.
What song? Oh, you're still looking for Michael's song?
Yeah. So you wrote something, Dave.
Yes. Tomorrow, just put Mike's song in the chat. The link on YouTube.
I won't continue to look for it then. Do you want to look at your song, Mike? You want to give us a little overview? You made the video.
Yes, all right. Well, I'll share my screen so you can see this.
Set to share.
This song was written by 3 people at a Sunday afternoon session in London, and one of them is the person who sang it, whose name was Chris, and then there was someone called I can't remember, something Neville, who helped with the words, and the song was my idea. The idea was Alan Neville, who played the guitar, and I played a bit of piano on it. And the idea was that it would be a song for a 40th wedding anniversary. And the thing that fireworks and champagne have in common is that they sparkle again, like I love throughout the years.
Oh, I love it. Yep, it is nice.
All right.
I think you have to share your sound.
Yeah, when you shared the screen in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, when you hit share, and then it asks you to choose.
Is you showing the screen? No.
So when you hit share, then you'll see at the bottom left share sound.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little box in the bottom left corner of the share screen.
1978 was the year we met. Our first date, I will never forget. The cafe in the park, bought a tea for two. Knew there was a spark there between us two. Fireworks and champagne, moving me to tears, sparkling again, like our love throughout the years. Accepted me. 2 years down the line, you walked down the aisle. It was so divine to see a lovely smile. Fireworks and champagne, moving me to tears, sparkling again, like a love throughout the years.
All right. So you know how just a few months ago we were talking about the front heavy phrasing and the back heavy phrasing, and the lead vocals seem to never start on beat one for each phrase. There was a little break. So one, da 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 da, and then when you got to the background vocals, they were always on starting the phrase on beat one. So it was a good contrast.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I was now tell me again who sang that?
That was sung by Chris. Can you remember? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to share that as well.
Moore and Alan Neville.
Alan Neville.
I see. And you were playing the piano part and
Yes, that's right.
recording.
I think I should. Can you hear that? I should. Oh, we're going to stop that one. So,
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
okay, because I think that was just there's another thing on my channel which was carrying on another song that I also wrote after my wife died. But that was the idea of the song was that it would be suitable for use at 40th wedding anniversary celebrations.
Right.
And Tamara's been asked to arrange the music for such an event. So she was thinking of using it for that. So do you want to say anything about that? Tamara helps by putting together the video with the fireworks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good.
Big Ben. Is that Big Ben?
Yes, yes.
Buckingham Palace or yeah, it's all there.
You want to say something, Tamara?
Well, yes, this recording was just literally recorded on a little recorder at the time after they'd first made the song.
Right.
Cool. So it was live.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Sometimes that's the best time to capture it.
Yeah.
The inspiration is all there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's always the toughest thing. It's like, you write a song and then you go to try to produce it. It's almost like trying to capture lightning in a box.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've written a song and like in my head the idea is amazing, and then when I try to record like simple demos of it, like the simplest demo like always seems to be the one that captures the idea the most faithfully, and then to try to produce it up and to actually get it to feel like what the original one feels like. I find it hit and miss.
Yeah, but that recording, it really does have the emotion.
Yeah.
And the
I have to say I love the sentiment. It's a great
metaphor too.
Yeah, it's a great metaphor. It really is.
Or similes, I guess,
so,
fireworks and champagne.
I think that's a lot of the idea. Like the best songs are the ones where you listen to it and you could find some element of your own experience inside that song somewhere. And that's one of the things that makes you fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And as terrible as a songwriter as I am, that's one of the things I keep coming back to is is to try to find something that is first and foremost true to me, because I can't tell you a story unless it can't be fake. I can't do fake.
You can't make anything up, huh?
Yeah, not really. Or I can't write something I don't understand.
That makes sense.
So my tendency is to write them. Is to try to capture the feeling of the moment inside where the music goes, as opposed to the lyrics. But that's me.
All right. Anyone else have any questions or comments? You want to go on to the next person, the next song? Who's next?
Dave, what have you got?
Sorry, I kept missing the unmute. I just don't want to follow Drew. So for this song, I always struggle trying to come up with a lyrical concept. That seems to be my issue, and so once I get some kind of lyrics, then I can go in that direction. So for this song, I don't know, the title "When Good Goes Bad" just kind of popped into my head, and then it was a matter of how did I want to write it out. So
When good goes bad.
Yep, you can see the screen now, right?
I'm going to share with you real quick before we start a fun songwriting worksheet that I found.
Okay.
And it helps just get some words flowing before you even start writing. I love it. I've used it a few times, and it seems to really, it's just useful when you come down to actually write the song, to do a little prep work in advance.
All right. Good.
All right, go ahead.
Here's how it came out. Thought you walked on water, 'cause you smiled at the skies, until the clouds rolled in. I could see it in your eyes. You never really know which way the winds will blow, and all you have longed for, all you had, hold on with all your might. Cry your heart out through the night. When good goes bad, soon you started sinking. A tempest filled the night. Rain started pouring. The forecast called for spite. You never really know which way the winds will blow, and all you have longed for, all you had, hold on with all your might. Cry your heart out through the night. When good goes bad, every summer has its winter. There's no silver without dross. Every light casts a shadow. Atonement bears the cross. You never really know which way the winds will blow, and all you have longed for, all you had, hold on with all your might. Cry your heart out through the night. When good goes bad, good goes bad. When good goes bad, when good goes bad.
That's cool.
Yeah, Dave, that is so well put together, man. Like
The weather metaphor is pretty awesome.
yeah. Yeah, and I just like I think one of the things I like is the way that the form works. Like it's very clearly like verse, then pre-chorus, then then chorus, then bridge, then is there another verse?
There's two verses in
Okay,
the bridge.
verse,
And then there's
pre-chorus,
that cool
chorus.
little break in the chorus when it goes to the B7.
Yeah.
Lots of good contrasting sections. And this is probably a dorky thing for me to really like, but I like how good is on a C add 9 and bad is on a minor 7. Did you plan that out? Prosody.
Yeah. I wanted the minor to be the bad.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I was thinking I like one thing that I really like, and being the dorky guitar player, like your chord choices all sound really good. Like they're nice sounding chords, and that's something that, like, more lately I've been sort of reconnecting with that whole. I was telling a friend of mine, that one of the reasons why I play guitar, one of my formative early experiences playing guitar was going into a music store and connecting up with an amplifier. And the guy, I was 8 years old, and the guy let me, so I plugged into this amp and I just kind of went and played an A minor chord, and I just went, "Oh my God!"
It's the sound of my heart.
It's like there it is. I'm done. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Nice.
Right? So.
Good chord, John.
Yeah, and then you try to master the guitar, so you learn like thousands of chord voicings. Then years later you come back and go, A minor is still amazing. Wow. So
I did that with A minor too when I learned Ain't Talking About Love.
Oh, right.
I had my PV Bandit and the American Metal pedal with my A minor.
Yeah.
Classic.
But it's one of those things. It's like these days I find myself sitting with my guitar sometimes and just kind of going, okay, what's a cool chord?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, what happens if I move that around? Ooh. Right? You see what I'm saying? So, and that will very often set me off and running. So my point is, Dave, I really like what you're doing. Like, really like the way you handle the chord progression. It's nice.
Yeah, tell us your process.
Oh gosh, I think the title came first. I mean, it popped into my head, and I was just like, well, that's kind of a fun contrast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the chorus. And the interesting thing is I'm in this Wednesday night songwriting group that just kind of works on lyrics and focuses. And so sometimes they're in my head. So I thought, okay, they're going to flag me having the word all 3 times in 2 lines. But then when I played it for them, they go, no, we really like that you've got all in there 3 times. So I've got to shut out their voices sometimes. So I came up with the chorus. And then, okay, so this is a world premiere. This is my first song ever with a pre-chorus. So,
Really?
yeah.
Why would you steer away? And what caused you to put it in this one?
I've never felt the need for one before, but on this song, then it's like I struggled with, well, okay, I'm typically a 2-verse guy, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out, and I'm done in 3 minutes or 3 minutes and 30 seconds or 4 minutes if there's a solo. Okay. So I had to think about what I wanted to do with the lyrics. And the walk down the water, so that with the verses, I paralleled them. So the first line, I thought you could walk on the water, but then you started sinking, what was the parallel in there? And then, your smile lit the skies. Well, okay, no, there's now a tempest filling the night. I was trying to parallel those. And so I thought, well, okay, I've got kind of a transition here where things are coming bad, but I really need to kind of explain that transition more or segue more between the transition. So I thought, well, what the heck? I've never done a pre-chorus. Might as well work on that. And so that builds up.
Set you up.
Yeah. So who knows? I just might have some more. And then the bridge, I mean, my Wednesday night group, I totally rewrote this a few times, but yeah, some of these were like non-famous proverbs I found on the internet. I thought, okay, I can just change a word or two and rip them off.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my lyrical process.
Yeah.
musically, I had no idea why I went with the note CBA into a B7 chord, other than I heard it in my head and it came out of my fingers. And in theory wise, I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, but it's nice though because it kind of turns the tune just slightly to the left for a moment.
Well, and
Yeah,
sometimes in our lives, when turmoil happens, it can just immediately come in and just take
Yeah,
us to a different chorus, you know?
yeah.
And that's how the music sounds.
yeah. So this whole section, kind of the syncopated part from the, through the nights, that was off the beat. That just came into my head when I was writing it, and didn't try not to think about it too much. So thank you.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Tamara,
So
you have something to say?
yeah,
Yes, so do you mean Harriet Shock's Wednesday night class, Dave?
Oh no, I stopped taking her class about 9 months ago. So this is it's just a group of people that live in California, well, and some people in Michigan also. So Mike McNevin is the guy who kind of started this during the lockdown, and that group focuses mostly on lyrics, as does Harriet's group, which again, I'm thankful, John and Julie, that I'm begging you for a group where we can think about music a little bit more. So the topic of this was harmonic rhythm. And so also that I had to focus on, okay, well, I'm changing my chords and, one chord per line in the verse, two chords per line in the chorus, mixing it up.
Yeah,
But no, it wasn't.
it really aids in the contrast, the feeling of each section, you know?
Yeah, it does. It
Really
helps.
love that about this song was the contrast. There was a good difference between each section.
that's right.
Yeah, thank you. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right on. Anyone else want to add?
Drew, did you emailed us something?
This is Drew's song.
Oh yeah, I could do one.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
going to share it from there?
I
Or
don't
do you
care.
want us to?
Whatever works. I guess you guys can.
All
If that
right,
makes
I'm
sense.
going to share it from here. Do you want to give us a little overview?
Yeah, probably best. So originally I was gonna do harmonic. Wow, that doesn't look like mine.
No, that's something else. That was our notes from last time.
It's all
Sorry.
right as long as I wasn't speaking to that, because that would not have gone well.
It's just an email if that's okay.
Yep. So a friend of mine who works in film, was telling me a story about how they wanted to use "Every Breath You Take" by Sting, for the film, and they couldn't, of course, because
Not today.
Sting demands money. Um, and so it got me thinking about could I reverse engineer something like that, because that's one of those tunes. If you don't know the story, like it was taken on by the populace as a romantic song, but it's actually a letter that he got from a stalker. Um,
Whoa.
and so yeah, that's the actual story behind it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you can look it up. He tells the story, of course, better than I
I
can.
knew. I knew. I mean, the lyrics just kind of sound stalkery.
Right, and so that's kind of the interesting thing, where he has this letter from a stalker, and then he ends up putting it in a tune, putting parts of it in a tune, and so on one hand, the people love it because people see it as desire, and every breath you take, I'll be watching you, like kind of like this comforting thing, but
I think that's how most people saw it.
right, but he always saw it as like kind of a the stalkerish side of it, like every breath you take, I'll be watching you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Through binoculars and stuff. And the movie was kind of was a creepy movie. You know what I mean? There you go. Well done. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm giving
And
you.
so I tried to create a character and work through like what that would be like. And then anyways, I originally wrote a different tune that had more of the harmonic rhythm that you were talking about, but the lyrics didn't really work the way I wanted them, and I didn't finish it because I ended up finishing this kind of.
Okay.
And then I didn't know we were meeting today, so
Oh, you
John hit me
did?
up yesterday, and was like, "Hey, we're meeting tomorrow," and I'm like, so
I gotta get something done.
Yeah, I just tracked
Good
this.
for you for good for you for taking care of that.
Yeah, and I thought of you, Dave, because I was sitting there going, Dave's gonna be really happy that I didn't try and produce this. I see him giggling. So, the last thing I'll say about it before we go is that there is a little bit of harmonic rhythm stuff going on, because the beginning walk is actually part of the rest of the song. It kind of fits together that way, and because it's an uncomfortable person, it's supposed to be that fine line between the romantic portion, but then also the kind of like, hey, you're not getting it, like, leave me alone. I purposefully had the blocks in odd meter, so, or not meter, but stanzas, so when you hear that was purposeful
To make
Anyways.
it sound a little crazy and
And by the way, the
off-kilter.
background vocals were done by the Doobie Brothers.
Oh yeah. And no pitch correction, so
Yeah.
wait till you hear that.
I'm gonna just play it.
I'm not sure that I've heard this, by the way. I just sent it really fast, so.
That's fine.
Let's listen.
I saw the note. I give you some time. Knowing your heart will always be mine. I tore it to pieces and peppered the flames. Before all the ink could dry, snuff out my shame. Just let me think. Just let me I put down the bottle. There's torch to unwind. I clean up the soot ash before you arrive.
I love it.
I tell you how I need you now. If you pick up the damn phone, I burn down this house again to bring you back home. You and I'll always be mine. It's you and I
Imagine the guitar solo exported.
You and I'll always be mine. It's you and I always. You and I'll always be mine.
You can go ahead and stop it. The loop messed up. It just hangs on the 4 on the way out.
Oh,
So,
okay.
anyways, you get it.
Oh, it sounds so dark, but when it goes to this B flat,
Yeah.
it's almost like I'm imagining the person is insane, right? And then when you get to that chord, it's like they're so secure in their insanity, right?
Right. Well, the
Somehow it's like, oh, it goes even deeper.
people with real problems don't believe they really have problems.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's the denial chord. B flat.
Right. So the kind of concept was that I mean, So the verse is a kind of a cliche doo-wop style, love song style, like but the thing is, it's if you read it right, it starts with the note. He got a Dear John, he's dumped,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
he's trying to process it in his messed up way.
Yeah, like I'll give you time. I know you're gonna change.
I'll just give you time.
Yeah.
We're not broken up. I'll just give you time.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I mean?
a little space. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then by
You
the
don't
second
actually
verse,
want to. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
actually want to leave.
yeah. Well, you'll think about it, and then I'd tell you stuff if you'd pick up the phone, and no, I'll just fix it, because
Yeah.
it's, we're together,
Right.
and so that's kind of, it's not as good as Sting's work, is what I'm trying to say.
Pretty good.
It's pretty
The
good.
chords are so cool too.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I mean, it's like I get like the thing I like about it is that it doesn't attempt to recreate the vibe of Every Breath You Take.
No,
It's
it
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
it's more like Every Breath of You Take was like sort of that point of origin, and you
Yeah.
kind of took a sharp left from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
I
cool.
don't think anybody can do Every Breath You Take except for him personally. So this is kind of just my take on this concept. I
Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear that song by what's his name? The song's called "Missing You."
By John Waite.
Yeah,
Wait, yeah.
yeah. Very cool.
I like it seems like it's coming from a similar place because well, although the vibe of that tune is like, oh yeah,
I'm fine.
I'm
Right.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. It's a similar direction. I think in this case, I feel like what the interesting part about Every Breath You Take is it's really about possession. And so if you want to be possessed by the person, if it's a father figure, that's holding you close, then it's beautiful, it's romantic. But if you don't want to be possessed and it's somebody outside your window, then that's really uncomfortable and invading. And so I tried to kind of explore that.
Yeah, that's
Or
great.
whatever.
That's really great.
It's
Great,
a lot
great job.
darker than Every Breath You Take. I was just thinking about that, how most of the chords in that, they're happy chords.
Oh, and they were talking about that as well.
Right.
I learned something. I always played that song like this, where you bar everything,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, right, yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
So Julie plays it like this. Watch this.
oh,
So two things. One, it sounds better. Two, it's easier to play.
yeah. With
That's
his
how I
small
play it.
hands. Yeah,
Got a short little
that's
pinky.
really hard. I make it look like it's really difficult.
Yeah. Hate that. And I've played that song like a million times and suffered for it. You got tendonitis as a result of
No,
it.
you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Thanks, Andy.
Great.
yeah, right. If they're watching, they're laughing at us right now.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Thanks for sharing. Tamari, do you have anything to share?
Yes, well, I wrote something in response to the harmonic rhythm. How fast the chords change
Yeah.
Yep.
that we were talking about last time,
Good.
and also you might be pleased to know, John. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that you like A minor, because this song is in A minor.
Nice.
Yay!
Okay, I like it already. You don't even have to play it, and I like it.
Okay, tell me in a couple of minutes, in a few seconds, whether you can hear it.
Okay.
You were
not yet.
that
Oh, there it is.
old. I expected another 20 years. I feel a sudden cold, worse than my worst fears. It came out of the blue and made me feel so blue. Suddenly time's thief has struck you. came out of the blue and made me feel so blue. Suddenly time's thief has struck you, leaving me grief and disbelief.
Yeah. That's kind of a dark one too. But it definitely, you can see the dramatic difference between 2 beats per chord and 4 beats per chord. You're able to kind of expand on the tonality of each chord when it's spread out a little bit. And then when it moves faster, you kind of have to jump. But if you choose 2 chords that are that you could sing the same melody over, that's kind of a cool thing, where you're changing
Yes.
the texture underneath, but the melody continues. So, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
us
really-
about
yeah.
the lyrics and what it's about.
Well, tragically, I have suffered a few bereavements recently,
Mm.
I'm sorry.
including, you know, well, of someone in their 60s, which I really wasn't expecting.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes writing a song, it kind of puts a little Band-Aid on our wound, or it allows us to explore what we're going through in a way. So
It's cathartic, yeah, definitely.
cathartic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you played all the stuff on keyboards?
I played it on a keyboard and recorded it in MIDI into
Okay.
Pro Tools.
Okay,
Very
cool.
cool.
Cool. So one of the things that you can try with is, if you want to, I like it just as it is. One thing that you can kind of play around with if you want to is you start playing through your chords, right? And along the way, sometimes it's fun to kind of temporarily stop the chord progression for a minute, and then I got this chord. Now, what happens if I change one of the notes inside the chord?
That's true.
Because sometimes, that one note change inside the chord can have a way of making, like the mood of what you're trying to say just a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
That's actually something that the Beatles did quite a lot. Is they would set up like a very commonly used chord progression, and then just change one note in one of the chords, and then you listen to it and you go, "Oh, that's kind of cool,"
Yeah.
And it's because part of it has to do with you're hearing a note inside the chord progression that's a little bit unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, with this chord progression, I'm going down, A, G, and so on.
Right.
Which note might you change?
Oh, experiment with anything and everything. Experiment freely is what I'm saying.
Do you want to try? Give an
let's see.
example.
So okay, so
Oh, you're gonna do it on the guitar.
So for example, like if it was A minor,
Yes.
right? Then G, then right. So there's a lot of things I could do with that. You see what I'm saying? Like I could go back to an A major instead of an A minor. That would be one change. Another thing I could do might be
Tell about what
See what I mean?
notes you're moving.
yeah.
on the
So
chord?
so here, so if I play an A minor chord, then I play
Yes.
a G chord. Now the third chord I'm going to play is an A minor chord, but with F sharp in the bass. Okay.
Yes.
Now if I move the C down a half step, now it becomes an F sharp minor 11 chord.
Yes.
But I wasn't really thinking I would now play an F sharp minor 11. I was just thinking move the C, right? And then if I take the E and lower it by a half step, now it's an F sharp diminished 7th chord, right?
Yes.
If I move the C down to B again, now it's a B7 chord, and you get to borrow Dave's B7 chord.
C, B,
with
A,
permission,
B7.
of course. You know, or you know, G, then maybe D with F sharp in the bass, and then maybe F minor.
Ah, that's interesting because I was going down to E. So
Yeah.
oh no, wait a minute.
I don't know.
Well, it kind of sometimes you change the key when you modify the chords a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yes.
And I guess all I'm saying is as you continue to write, you know, experiment, like, you know, like come up with your chord progressions and work with them. But along the way, maybe, you know, like start asking yourself, what would happen if I change this? Do I like this? No. Okay. So then just keep going forward.
Yes.
You know,
You have to refashion a melody too.
yeah.
Especially if you're taking a chord that's out of the key. Then you kind of have to
Yes.
swirl around a little bit, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
We've been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Liam, do you have a song to share?
Yeah, if you want to look up, if you look it up on YouTube, it's letters IU and then the number 2. So you probably put my name in front of it, you'll find it quick.
Liam Bliven.
IU.
John Finn.
What is it called? IU2?
Yep.
Here it is.
Oh, it is.
You want to tell us about it a little bit?
So the picture in there is me and my grandmother, and of course I'm about probably 7 or 8. She passed away when I was 10, so her license plate on her car was IU2, and so I was just working on something, and I was like, oh, this could be a cool. So I'll represent the instrumental songwriting here.
All right.
But yeah, I just kind of had the initial melody is what I had, and then I kind of just went from there.
Okay. All right, let me get the sound up here.
Man, what a gorgeous tune! And you know, one of my there's a couple of things. One thing that I want to mention right away. If you didn't catch it, the song's time signature is pretty much in 7/8 or 7/4 throughout. And but what I love about it is that a lot of times when you hear artists play songs in seven, you know, a lot of times they'll sort of set up the flavor, set up the feel of it, so that it's telegraphing to the world, we're playing an odd time signature song. We're really good musicians. We're playing something that sounds really, really hard. You know,
But then to treat it with the ballad.
and
That's
then
lovely.
something like this, like the music just kind of flows along, you know, and you notice that like it's got its own flow, but it's not like what you would normally hear. And it's like, wait a minute. Oh, it's in seven. Oh, you know what I mean? So like you kind of discover that as the tune goes by, and then then it does all these really nice things, beautiful harmonies. I love the lead tone that gets introduced about the third the way in, and then you have that Lydian moment.
I love the Lydian moment.
Yeah, like that really, like everything about it, like the flow, the form. So are those real drums, or are those like a drum machine, or what is that?
Yeah, that's I forget what I used. That might be Get Good Drum. And it's one of the, it's a plug-in.
Okay.
So it's all.
Because it's super convincing. Like I didn't, and did you play bass on it, or did you have somebody play?
Yep, I played bass, guitar. Yeah, bass and all the guitars.
Yeah.
Program the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Lydian part, it's like a D and then it's a D over E, like E7.
Right.
You just kind of stumbled upon that, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And it just reminds me of something, I don't know, like old school 70s or something, which is like the time that I would have been with my grandmother too. So
Right.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
On the odd time signature thing, that's always kind of like a pet peeve of mine with a lot of the bands that do that, is I try to make it so it doesn't, like, I like the bands that play in odd times, but it doesn't feel like odd and crazy. It's like it
Right.
works, and
It's
it's
like
got
a singable melody, something to
yeah,
hold.
exactly. So yeah, somehow I came up with that. I don't know. I just kind of naturally go toward odd time signatures just because of what I listen to, I guess. But but I always try to make it not feel like it's, oh, there's some weird, crazy thing here. It's like I still try to make sure it has a good kind of groove to it, so you don't really notice that it's in an odd time signature.
So before we started the songwriting club, Liam and I were like upstairs, and we were working on, both of us trying to learn the song "Contusions" by Stevie Wonder. If you haven't heard that, like, oh my God.
Well, there's a master
hard to play, hard to
songwriter.
count, hard to hear, hard everything.
It's brutal.
He did it just for the challenge.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's 3:10. Should we do Necessary Scars, or should we do it next time?
No, let's play it.
Okay.
Do you want to?
So-
I could play it from the intro if you want.
Okay. I'm in my last semester at my master's degree, and I'm at the point now where I've got all my songs, and now I'm producing them and I'm going to record them. So I got a pretty good mix of this song called Necessary Scars. Now, you must have heard it when I did it the first time I wrote it. It was a few months ago. And I just want to show you the power of rewriting. And this also has some contrasting harmonic rhythms too, but I just kind of want to show you real quick how it began and how it turned out. Oh, let me see. John, before you play it, I'm going to play one other thing, okay? Can you hear me? John? He can't hear me.
I can hear you.
I know. I hope he can. Otherwise, he's going to play it right over the top of this one. I just want to play the first version. Okay, here's this. No, that's not it. Okay, I'll have to find it. I can't find the beginning one. Version 5. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is how it started. I'll just play a few minutes. See the night, you almost died, still so fresh in your mind. All your fears have turned to dust. Over time, the path will adjust. Your wounds will turn to scars. After you've been around the sun, you find it to be true. Okay, so that's the very first iteration of the song. And then
Did you get
as
it?
I was looking, yes, I did. Thank you. As I was looking at it, there was a lot of stuff that I liked about the song. It's a story about my niece who had to have a surgery and she almost lost her life, and it was very stressful. And then I was talking about pain from the outside and pain that's on the inside. But in the end, I decided that the emotional quality of the song wasn't quite there with this arrangement that I had, and the verses I was doing the point of view of me talking to somebody else, but I decided to change the point of view to where it's me talking about myself instead of saying you need to do this and having it sound a little preachy. So I added a key change in the verses. I changed the verses around, and then there's some parts that are kind of similar too, but I'll just have you listen to it and see what you think. Here it is. All right. Can't breathe, I can't breathe. It's cut off.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's missing the beginning.
All right.
All right. So it's missing about a measure. Great. This is the debut of my new song. Whatever. Can't breathe, I can't feel the knife slice through my skin. Fresh wounds that cut deep, pain from the outside in. Will I be free from what's killing me? Why is my body broken? I should have died. They say in my life the trauma goes unspoken. Wounds will turn to scars. Since I've been around the sun, I found you go. Thank you. So it is a dramatic difference sometimes, but I think I'm getting closer to what I want it to be.
It's much more moving than the first version.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the song. She knows. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I, moving is a really good word for it. Like, when she it was. I thought it was great right out of the gate, and then when she started doing some of those rewrites, like the change of position, point of view position, and like all the chord changes that happen, and just the different production parts of it. I'm not biased at all, but I absolutely love the song.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be fun to get it out and have all my friends play. Our friend Larry Finn is going to play drums, and Joe Santerre will play bass, and Rich Cesarini will play keys. And then, of course, John, he'll play stuff on it.
Julie, was there like a little tremolo? It kind of sounded like it, but I don't think it was. It almost sounded like
it's a piano. It's like
okay.
A piano and then a celeste or a vibraphone.
Oh no,
type thing.
it's you know what it is? There's a piano
Octaves.
playing notes in octaves, but then there's also a vibraphone that actually has a tremolo effect on it.
Okay, that's what.
Well, not necessarily not a tremolo like the tremolo effect.
Oh,
It sounded like one part there was like a nylon string, just doing like a tremolo pick, like.
No, the nylon string is doing eighth notes.
Oh, okay. Because there was one part it sounded kind of like it was doing it, but then it like faded.
Oh,
I thought it was really cool.
It could have been the synth.
Yeah.
I have this cool synth called Industrial Drive or something like that. That sounds kind of gritty and neat.
Mm.
I'm figuring it out. I mean, it was really just to get the idea down, and then now I get to actually produce it, which I'm excited about. All right, you guys have any questions for us? We got to wrap up. Or we could talk about our next month's gathering. It will be in May. I can't believe it. It's going to be May.
Yeah.
May.
We're gonna do it from the boat.
Oh, you have a gig on the 13th. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sanctuary?
Yeah.
Is that local?
Yeah. Though Sanctuary is Maynard, so it's like an hour away.
Okay, cool. Let's keep
Yeah, we
it.
can do that.
All right, we'll do it on May 13. Oh. And do you want to think of something harmonically to contribute? Maybe we could all write songs in Dorian.
It might be a fun thing to play around with.
I have one in Dorian.
Okay, cool.
Oh, good. Well, the idea is to write one. I mean, we want to share what we've already written, but
Yeah.
I think the idea is that we're going to be moving forward and keep on writing and finding new things.
One thing that you could try is try writing the verse in a minor key and then use the same key
yes.
but make it a major key for the chorus, or do it the other way around,
Yeah.
or have the chorus in one key and the verse in a different key.
So
Anything like that.
So do you mean the parallel minor or
Yes.
or parallel major?
Yes.
Right.
Or just have the different sections in two different keys.
Uh-huh.
Or anything.
Or add the
yeah.
bridge in a minor or something.
Yeah, something. Like try around those, try things like that as tools, but then bring back the song you wrote, even if it doesn't exactly fit.
Yeah, so if you're in A minor, you could do A minor, D minor, and E minor. And then for the major section, you could choose A major, D major, and E major. Or some iteration of that.
Yeah, and actually what you can play around with is mixing and matching within a section. So, like the verse could be A major, D minor, E minor, right? And then the chorus could be A minor, D major, E major, Like you can, like that's,
That's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone have some good titles? Do you guys know how to do the title game? Did we talk about the title game? All right. So what I do is say I don't have any ideas. I just have nothing. I'm going to go to the bestseller list on the New York Times because book titles are not copywritten. Okay. Here we go. And then look at all these book titles.
Oh, it starts with us.
It starts with us, all right?
Lessons in Chemistry. Oh my God, what a great song title.
But okay, so once you get 2 or 3, you can take It Starts With Us and change one word.
We could also take It Ends With Us as
It
well.
ends with us. And then if you take It Ends With Us, change one word, It Ends With You.
Right.
Or It Ends With Me. Or Lessons in Chemistry. Lessons in
Love.
Baking. Lessons in Love. Lessons in who knows what. Anger management. So, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Poverty by America. Crying in H Mart. Crying at the Hilton.
Yeah.
Crying in the boat. Crying in the car.
Hang the
Screaming
moon.
in H Mart.
I keep going back to Lessons in Chemistry.
Maybe you need to write a song.
Yeah, maybe, because sort of what I'm imagining, is the student has a crush on the teacher, the teacher's a chemistry teacher and doesn't want to admit to the teacher that they've got a crush, but does everything. It'd be a fun little song to write. Yeah.
There's a lot going
It'd be
on there.
It'd be a little bit naughty.
We don't want to talk about pedophiles and
No. I don't mean that.
Okay.
Let's say adult night school.
Okay, there you go.
And socially appropriate.
Okay, so once you have your working title, Lessons in Chemistry,
Yeah.
we can do a song summary where we just kind of do a little dive into what is this going to be about?
Yeah.
What mood do I want to create? Happy, sad? And then we can find a bunch of words. We can say, well, lessons, chemistry. What are all the words that I find in the thesaurus under school? Or lesson. What's another word for lesson?
Yeah.
Where's my classes?
Nice.
Yeah. There's many lessons we can take without it actually being school. A moral, a message, an example, punishment, class, lecture, session, tutorial. So you want to fill up at least 12 words, and then for each of those words you're going to find rhymes. So you can go to Rhyme Brain. I like Rhyme Brain because it shows near rhymes. Let's do lesson, for example. Okay, here are rhymes with lesson. There's nothing that rhymes with lesson, but there's some alternatives that it gives us, and then words that almost rhyme with lesson. I love this because sometimes all my brain can think of are the perfect rhymes, and I don't necessarily want to use perfect rhymes sometimes. We could do engine and lesson, or lesson is a weapon, Family rhymes, threaten, lengthen, strengthen, So if you have this worksheet before you begin, it probably sounds a little anal and a little weird, but I find that the ideas just start flowing and I have less of a tendency to get stuck when I'm using something like this.
I hate to interrupt. I have a Zoom meeting I have to get to.
Okay, so sorry.
All right, it's
well,
okay.
We're finishing up anyway.
All right.
So
bye, everybody.
I hope with these tools,
Thanks, John.
we'll end up with a fun song this month, and I'm excited to see you guys in May.
And a reminder, go ahead and put your Venmo, PayPal info in the chat.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if
All right.
you'd love
Thank you.
to contribute to John and I, here is PayPal. That's Venmo. And then PayPal is john@john.com. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. And
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging. Oh, Mike, do you have something to say? Oh, you're just waving. All right. Well,